A 3-port charger this small and this charging cable. It's got a pretty cool secret. Let's check them out. Dave Taylor here, and I want to talk about charging. It's an endless topic because we have an endless number of devices and they constantly need to get more power. So we all spend our lives trying to figure out, are they charging? Are they charging as fast as possible? How many chargers and wall devices do I need to carry with me? Kind of a pain actually, but things are slowly starting to unify on USB-C, but even then you still have the question of, well, how much power can my device take and how much power am I giving it right now? Because obviously if you can match that perfectly, you're going to have the fastest possible charge. So Mcdodo, company with a funny name, sent me 2 different devices. This is their 65 watt, says so right here, 65 watt 3-port charger that just plugs into the wall. You can actually flip up the prongs if you want to travel with it, but check out how small that is. It's pretty darn remarkably small. How do they make it this small? They use something called gallium nitride technology. I'll come back to that because what I want to start is by talking about this. This is the Mcdodo USB-C 100 watt cable, and it is 1.2 meters or 4 feet long, USB-C on both ends, and you say, okay, so it's a nice braided USB-C cable. So the heck what? There's a billion of those out there, right? And there are. But here's the thing. First off, this is rated to 100 watts, which is important. The most modern devices, especially laptops and such, are rated to take higher wattage so that they charge faster. But if you have a USB-C cable that doesn't specify maximum wattage, then I can guarantee it's at 66 watts. So what does that mean? If you plugged it into a 100-watt charger and then plugged it into your computer, you wouldn't be giving your computer 100 watts. Kind of a drag. So a 100-watt cable is what you really want to be looking for nowadays, and that's what this is. Even if you're only using like a 65-watt charger, when you get to a bigger charger and a computer that can handle more wattage and charge faster, your cable will be ready to go. Now, to be slightly cautionary, the company over-enthusiastically says this will charge every device faster, and the answer is no. It'll charge devices that can handle 100 watts faster than a USB cable that only can handle 66 watts, obviously, because it's giving it more power, but the cable is not going to magically make your iPhone charge faster. So what's so cool about it? Well, let's plug this in. I just happen to have power right there. So I'm going to plug this in, and then I'm going to plug in my cable here. And I'm going to do it on the top one, which actually gives it the most power. I'll come back to that in a minute. And then I'm going to plug it into, this is a Google Pixel 6 Pro. I'm going to plug it in and then check this out and give you a close-up. But it shows you the wattage that it's delivering to the device. So insanely cool. So it not only shows you that, but you can see that there's a tiny PD being displayed. And PD means that it's using power delivery. And power delivery is one of these things you probably didn't even know existed, but your device now can negotiate with the charger and they will agree on a maximum wattage to give you the best possible charge experience. One of the most common protocols for that is something called power delivery. If the PD isn't illuminated and it just shows the W, then you're getting a slow charge, which means that the charger is being cautionary. It's saying, let me give you a relatively low amount of wattage because it's already detected what kind of device it is. But you can see on the bottom of the Pixel, it actually says charging rapidly, which means it's getting the maximum possible wattage from this charger, which means it's going to charge super fast. So I am at 14% and it says in 90 minutes I'll be at a full charge. So that's not too bad for a phone, right? So I really like the cable, it's really fun, and I thought, hey, let's experiment with it a little bit. So we can see that the phone is getting 22 watts. That's what we saw in that earlier image. So if I plug in this Lenovo Yoga to charge it, well, what kind of wattage does it take? So obviously it can't get more than 65 watts because that's what this is pushing out, But you can see in this image that we got 63, 64. So it looks like it's at 63 watts of electricity coming into this unit to charge it. So that's pretty cool. That's basically all the power this thing can produce. But let's try one more thing, right? So this is all the non-Apple gear. Let's just switch over to my MacBook Pro. This is an M1 MacBook Pro. And I'm going to plug it in here. And then let's see what this one does. Well, it starts out at 12927. It's negotiating that protocol right now, which is kind of cool to watch. And then finally, I'll show you, it's going to take a little while to get up to, but it'll get to 66 watts, which is, number one, a watt higher than you would expect to come out of the charger, but it is the best possible charge that I can give this with this charger. Now, this MacBook Pro can handle 100 watts, but obviously the Mcdodo charger isn't giving me 100 watts, so I'll just have to charge at the speed I charge at. Okay, looks like there it's stabilized actually at 65 watts, and it is indicating that it's also using PD, power delivery. So cool. That's the cable. It's really a nice, thick, braided cable. It comes in a ton of cool colors. I'll come back to that in just a second. And then let me just talk just a little bit about the charger itself, because this is also really cool. So it includes 2 USB-C and 1 USB-A, and the USB-A is capped at about 30 watts. Here's actually an illustration from the company that shows you how power is distributed when you plug in 1 or 2 or all 3. And obviously the 65 watts you're sharing among the ports. So if you want the maximum possible charge to your laptop, which can take a lot of power, then don't also charge your phone unless you want to have everything charging overnight, in which case it doesn't matter if things are at a lower charge rate. So very interesting document there. And so I'm going to plug back in on that top charger. I'm going to plug it back into the power. And I'm going to just let my MacBook Pro charge away, and the display is working again. Now, what's interesting, again, like I said, is that you see that there's a negotiation going on. You don't plug in and then boom, it's immediately at the maximum wattage. And I find that really interesting and really pretty sophisticated of them. So that's everything I wanted to talk about with the cable and the charger, except we need to talk about the price. But before we get to the price, I'm going to ask if you could subscribe to my channel. A click or a tap on that subscribe button. And also don't forget to click on the bell icon so that you can also get notifications. And we're connected. Now, you connecting to me is a great win-win, because the more subscribers I have, the more gear I get. And for you, you now have a source of honest, candid, and straightforward reviews. So I'm sure you're going to want to check out my other videos too. I hope so. Anyway, all right, cool. Now, let's unplug everything. So let's start with this. This is the Mcdodo USB-C 100 watt cable with built-in LED display, and it is in black or silver or blue or pink or purple. And this unit in black is $14.99, currently discounted to $11.09 on Amazon.com. If you need another USB-C cable, or you just want to have that little display, this is a no-brainer upgrade. It's actually a pretty slick cable. In terms of the charger, this is the Mcdodo 65 watt 3-port charger with folding prongs, and it comes in black or white, and it's $35.99, currently minus a 30% discount, dropping it down to a remarkable $25.19 at Amazon.com. Both of those are pretty killer prices for these devices, and they are going to make your technical and electronic world just a better place. How is that not cool? Anyway, that's everything. Let me get my MacBook Pro charging again, because I know I'm going to need it. And obviously I can plug in the cable in either orientation, so I can also have that wattage indication right here too. Works just fine. Anyway, that's all I got. Hope to catch you in my next video.